Hi Ashley, so I wanted to respond to your discussion post because you made some comments on solution-focused brief therapy that were very interesting to me. So you first mentioned how a strength of this could be if your insurance doesn't cover a lot of sessions, having the 3 to 8 session window is optimal for you, where a limitation could also be that you might feel rushed as a client and not feel like you have the amount of time that your problem, deserves or needs to, find an adequate solution for it. I think that those are both really great points, and I agree with them. So I was doing some digging around just to see how clients felt in this environment. And so I didn't find too many recent articles anyways on like client satisfaction levels with solution focused brief therapy, but I did find an interesting article that had some researchers investigating the ability of counselors to actually adjust their primary therapeutic style to incorporate solution focused brief therapy when their clients are in a crisis, just like within their therapeutic sessions normally. So instead of going on with maybe CBT or DBT or something else, they would pause and kind of designate some sessions towards a solution-focused brief therapy mindset only. So within this study, they kind of found that counselors were able to pretty quickly and without any significant changes to their own therapeutic style make those adjustments to fit a solution-focused brief therapy model. They highlighted it specifically for patients who are in crisis, maybe specifically with like suicidal ideation, to see if maybe they could just help their clients find another way to think about their behaviors and their control over the behaviors to find solutions for their problems. So this didn't mean that they necessarily would kind of avoid discussing the root of the problem or the different aspects of the problem that some clients really do find some benefit out of, but they just put all of that discussion on pause and they kind of try and tackle it in a different way because maybe they weren't having any luck previously, or maybe just this crisis is so severe that based on the progress they had made, they think that a quicker approach to addressing the problem at hand is more appropriate. Also with that, if there's a client in session who maybe came to therapy for a totally different reason and then all of a sudden had a crisis and they were feeling suicidal or homicidal, or that they just had some self-injurious behaviors that are thoughts about that either that came into their head, maybe kind of putting a pause on their regular therapy that utilized like a CBT approach and then trying to intervene with this crisis with a more solution-focused brief therapy way, because it is designed to be a lot faster and more of the here and now solution focused. So I thought that that was really interesting of a study to kind of discuss. It was pretty recent, so it was by Benjamin Finlayson and his colleagues in 2021, so it was like last summer. And there's several limitations that they had noted, but I think overall it was kind of a very interesting take on solution-focused brief therapy, not necessarily being the only approach used with that client or for that like problem. So you could focus on the problem and like the root cause and other aspects, how it affects your family, your systems, all of that stuff with your primary method of therapy. But then when there's crisis or something that's more immediate that needs to be addressed, kind of putting a pause and then just switching over to a different approach. I thought it was very interesting. Anyway, so I thought that that might be good to share.